Make sure it's turned on, Bill. Is your on button on?
Yep,
There
it
you go.
is.
They're
Can you
ready.
hear me?
There you
Yep.
go. There you go.
Okay. All right. Technical stuff, my forte. Um, anyway, thank you all for joining on this holiday season. We are going to have a fun episode today where we go into helping to smooth this out, but from a direction that you might not have anticipated. We're not going to try to meditate it away. You're not going to try to wish it away, but we're going to actually go right into it and let our nervous systems give us the truth or maybe a different look at it. So I'll start off with a funny story specifically about this. Now, if you notice, I have a Christmas tree right here, and it's one of those ones that you go down to the tree lot and you buy. You know, I've been basically, you know, it was my family tradition, so there I am, you know, continuing the family tradition for myself, my wife, my daughter, and we go down and get the Christmas tree just like when we were kids, and it's always nice, but I noticed several years ago that every Christmas I would get a terrible nasal infection. My throat would close up. I would end up with a nasal infection. And I came to the conclusion, I was like, you know what? It's that it's that Christmas tree. I got to get rid of it. You know, buy it the last minute before Christmas and then get rid of it right after Christmas, you know, just really keep a very tight window, trying to keep myself from the infection. Didn't matter. I would still get the infection and I could feel it down in my lungs. I couldn't breathe, you know, because that pine smell. And although it's really nice, you know, it smells like Christmas and all that, you know, or winter, and but I would end up with this issue year after year. And one day, I decided it was several years ago in Christmas, and I was like, my gosh, I'm getting this darn infection here again. And I start doing Cogno movement around the infection. And I still remember it was up and over here. And my eyes, I'm focused on this basic infection. And I still remember it was over here, and I had my eyes up and they were pulling. You know, I was like, oh, you know, and all of a sudden, the view of like I was only maybe 4 or 5 years old. I don't know how old, but I loved Christmas. And you know, and also I was somebody that just, you know, the presents were everything. So I got so darned excited that I couldn't sleep, you know, and I would be the first one up. Well, you know, as we say, little bad bastard Billy got up, you know, at something like 2 a.m. And we come down, and Christmases at my house were spectacular. I mean, the whole room was filled with presents. There's so many kids, and there's just presents upon presents. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. And my parents had just gone to sleep. And and there I am. Get up, everybody. It's Santa Claus came. Oh my God, Santa Claus. And he came, and it's like, and I'm like, you know, ding-a-linging and donging, and you know, things. And oh my gosh. Anyway, who comes downstairs? Loading. My dad. He's none too happy with bad bastard Billy. And, I take, shall we say, some heat on that one. And, sent back to bed, and so there's, shall we say, some tension. Anyway, bottom line is that for me, right, my sense was, oh, trouble, the smell of pine, trouble. So anyway, right, it cleared this out. And as you can tell, I'm fine. I have no nasal infection. I keep the tree now. Obviously we want the celebration, the whole Christmas spirit and the holidays, that tradition. And so I keep it going right past the first of the year, the whole 9 yards. I got the thing here, no problem. Anyway, no more infections, no more things in the lungs. But it's very funny because, our body basically, when there's a trauma, will look to the external environment, and it'll associate something in the external environment. And this is not just, about a Christmas tree. It could be about relationships. It could be around food. It could be around anything, that you associate, like, oh, it's when the cousins come. It's when the relatives show up. So relatives are a thing. It could be any. I got another one. It was just so funny. I was telling Liz this story earlier about Thanksgiving, because, for me, Thanksgiving, Daddy loves a turkey. I will eat a turkey any day of the week. I'll prepare it any time of year. Roast turkey. Well, my brother, he was trained, one of my brothers, I have a lot of brothers and sisters, but one of my brothers was trained at the San Francisco Culinary Academy. He's a chef, 5-star chef. He's worked at the Ritz-Carlton. He's worked at all the 5-star places. Hates turkey. Hates it. Doesn't like Thanksgiving and hates a turkey. Well, anyway, for him, what this basically the background is that when my mom at Christmas, I was maybe Thanksgiving, had pulled the turkey out of the oven, and it was set out cooling, ready to be cut. And he went by, swear, he went by and he grabbed the skin off the top of the turkey, the entire thing, and ripped it off and ran out the door and ate it. It's like, oh my God. Like he was the devil for the entire family. Like, you took the skin off the turkey. The skin's one of the best parts. So anyway, but from then on, he's traumatized because, there's 12 kids in our family, and he was not too popular. So Liz, I know you got a bunch of great stories too.
Well, actually, so I want to back up just a little bit because we jumped far ahead. I want to say welcome, everybody. And I'm Liz Larson. This is Bill McKenna. If you're brand new to Cognomovement.
Oh my gosh, we just jumped right in.
We are the creators of the Cognomovement system. And I know that many of you are here because you may have heard us on Coast to Coast or found us somewhere else just recently. And you're probably like, what the heck is this system? And what are these people talking about? So a Cogno Hour, which is what you're on now, one of our practitioners said, you guys crack me up. Yeah, we're a little upside down and backwards today. But a Cogno Hour is just this. It's a sample session of Cognomovement. And it's always around a topic. So you get to ask your questions in the chat. Leah, who is our business manager and answerer extraordinaire, will be in there and answer your questions. If we see a question that we can answer live, if it fits into what we're talking about, we will do that. We'll answer you live here. So, what we're going to do today is about surviving the holidays. And for some people, it really is about surviving. So, we're going to talk about what is your trigger? What is your pattern? How do you recognize what that thing is that lights you up and makes you miserable until about probably January 5th? For some of us, it actually starts at Halloween, before the holidays even start. Some people, it starts like right after Thanksgiving, this issue that you have. And so we're going to talk about how to recognize the pattern in your system. In Cogno movement, what it's not is it is not love and light, like Bill said, wish it away. No, no, no. It is not a guided meditation. It is not even, things like tapping your EMDR. What it is direct access into that part of your system that is creating the driver. So Bill McKenna shared with you that around Christmas time, and I'll ask Bill here in a second, his nose would start to go into not just, running. Some people, eucalyptus or pine, it makes your nose run, not just running, but full blown sinus infection, antibiotics, and all. It was his pattern. Now you could say, okay, well, he was allergic to the tree. But after a Cogno movement session, he was no longer allergic to the tree. So what we would say is that some part of his body, and it's the part of the body that Cogno movement is expert in using, hint, it's the nervous system, or what you might call the subconscious, started a pattern that's triggered by likely the sight or the idea of the tree. So Bill, let me ask you this. When exactly, what part of the season did that sinus infection start to rear its head?
It would always show up in winter, and every winter, and it would show up specifically when I got the tree. The tree came into the house. That's when it would show up. And I noticed, well, I probably wasn't all that aware. I just knew that, oh man, I got an infection. I never associated tree and that. It took, a while to finally start associating the tree with it,
Yeah.
But I just knew that, damn it, here it is, winter, infection, back at the doctor's, back with the antibiotics, forever with the antibiotics.
Yeah. So Danya says, bah humbug. So in the chat, if you'll post, do you already have an idea of what happens for you during the holiday season? So put in the chat, is it relatives? Is it the food? Do you start to have a craving and start to worry that what's going to happen to your waistline during the holiday season is going to be none too friendly at the end of the holiday season? Do you crave something like the chocolate or the bread? Or is it something else for you? Do you have general holiday malaise? So for me, I did, right around the time they would start to put the holiday stuff on the shelves, which is, just late October generally, sometimes it's earlier, I would get this general holiday malaise. Well, for me, what it was is my family didn't celebrate Christmas, but everybody else's family did. And so I knew when I went back to school, families would be talking, or kids would be talking about all the presents and gifts that they got. And I would have to have this weird conversation about how my family didn't celebrate Christmas. And then the kids would act weird about it and like, oh, should I not talk about my gifts? And it was horrifying. So as a grown up, I would just feel weird around Christmas time, just a general malaise. It never occurred to me until Cogno Movement that my issue was there was this automatic sensation, a driver. It was a feeling in my body that made me feel kind of low during the holiday season. So, do you have anger during the holiday season or anxiety? So, oh my gosh, we have friends who are crazy gift givers, and we always get anxiety because we can never match up to the way, I mean, they wrap things amazingly and they think things through. They're amazing gift givers. But do you have anxiety about who's going to be there, what to give, what you're going to look like, who you have to talk to? Can you afford it? Are there financial issues that come up for you? The reason I'm saying all this is I'm hoping that it actually sparks a sensation in your body. If it does, please write it down. Loneliness, that's a huge one. People are lonely during the holidays very, very often. If you can't be near family, if you don't have family and other people do, that's a huge one that comes up. Is anything else coming to mind, Bill? Some other emotions that people feel?
It's one of the biggest times of the year for bars. You know, they open up early and they stay open late, and they're jam packed surprisingly around Christmas, right? Christmas Eve, Christmas. There's a lot of people who want to like drink that feeling away, you know. Also, a lot of people I notice go out of town. Like, what I mean by that is, you know what? Our family, we got problems with particular like family members. So they're like, man, we got to get the hell out of here. So that fills them with anxiety if they can't get a flight out or go somewhere else. It's like, oh no, we got to be with that person, and how that is. So that's a big.
Yeah. So people are saying like having to buy gifts for people they don't even like. That's a huge one. Everybody start to notice what the reaction is in your body. And what do I mean is, did you just start to get some pain? Did you feel something in your stomach? Did you get a restriction in your throat? Are you getting that little headache? Do you feel that general malaise? I want you to notice in this moment, how does your body feel? Not necessarily your emotions, just notice what's happening in your physical body. Okay. Anxiety from residual family issues. Yeah. I mean, that's a big one. Dana says so many cookies. Isolation and losses from people that you lost in December. So grief. Grief is one of the biggest sensations, feelings during the holiday. Who's not there and who should be? Did you lose someone during that year or other years that is not there? And that grief comes up every time. Is there grief around possibly a divorce or family that you're disconnected from? There's so many families who aren't speaking to each other. And the loss is really noticeable, even though you're like, I don't want them here anyway. But notice how your body feels around it. There's going to be a feeling of some kind of tension somewhere in your body, like a push or a pull, something that might feel like weight or heaviness, something that might feel like the jitters, or like I said before, it might just be some kind of pain that has struck up in your body. Low back pain is one that happens a lot during the holidays because of core issues like finances, which are going to feel right down there in your low back, or family support is right down there in your low back too. So for you, start to notice what the sensation that's coming up in your body. Now, I started to say that in Cogno Movement, it is not about love and light and happy, happy, or let's be, let's forgive people and feel better. No, with Cogno Movement, the number one thing that we do is we let you have your feeling. Let her rip, baby. You don't like that person? For right now, for the next 30 minutes or so, I want you to dislike them as much as you do. In fact, if you hate them as much as you do, right? If you're sad, feel as sad as you are, right? If you're grieving, let yourself feel what grief feels like for you, right? If you're angry about holidays past and things your parents did or didn't do, be angry. If you don't actually know what it is, but there's something uncomfortable, a tension, a push, a pull, a poke, a weight, let that be there. Let it be there. Let yourself feel what you do. And if things have started to pop in your mind, things you might say out loud, write them down. And then during the session, everybody will be muted. I want to encourage you to say the thing out loud. So as we set that up, Bill, is there anything else you want to add to having them really feel the sensation they feel around this issue?
Yes. So the the way to help yourself to really connect with this sensation that's in your body is to look down with your eyes. You keep your head straight and level and literally utilize your eyeballs to look down, kind of like you're looking at your cell phone. You're just looking down. The head's level, but the eyeballs are down. And whatever that thing is for you, just allow yourself to feel it and notice the location, the quality, the intensity of this feeling in your body. You know, Liz had mentioned the area in the body for different things. You know, and a super common one, especially at this time of year, is the throat, a sore throat. Now, why would that be? Well, I'm getting together with, you're forced into situations. Maybe it is the office party. They don't have those much anymore, not like they used to, but you're forced into situations of being with people, maybe that you can't really say the truth. And that really impacts your throat. You're being shut down. There's so many people that I know that get strep throat, and they're the same people that they're in a situation where they can't express themselves. Maybe it's a marriage. Maybe it's a family. Maybe it's work, and the person's controlling, the boss is controlling your income. And you're like, man, I can't actually say the truth, can I? Or I will create myself a financial issue by getting fired. Whatever the case may be, or you don't want to get divorced today, you know, so you can't really say the thing that's going on. You can't say the truth. So those type of things, it could be anywhere for you, but just notice the simple noticing, and it could literally be anywhere in your body, but just notice.
And just for right now, if you would be willing, let your eyes kind of be in that down position like you're looking through your own shirt. This is the part of the brain, the eye position in the brain that connect with your physical body, your kinesthetic. So if you ever notice that if you stub your toe or get a paper cut, you got to look at it. It's just the part of your brain connecting with your physical body. So let that be there. And if you're willing for just today to breathe into it and almost let yourself drop down into whatever physical feeling you have right now, and almost be just the tiniest bit curious about what your body is doing. Meaning, if your guts are kind of feeling like butterflies or like you've been on a roller coaster, just notice it and let it be here. Just for the moment, let that feeling be here as much as it is. Anybody who's here has probably done quite a bit of work already on themselves. You're in the personal growth and development field and you've done some things. And a lot of times it's like, let's not feel the negative emotion. Let's feel better than that. Right now, dig in, feel it. What Bill and I say is let your body tell the truth about how you really feel. In fact, you can even let it be a little bit bigger. So let your eyes connect with your physical body. Eyes open, please, not closed. Take a big deep breath and just kind of let it all out. Let it be there. Feel it. And again, breathe in and let that sensation be there as much as it is. Let your body tell the truth. And notice if there's any little narrative. Notice if it starts your launch sequence. Yeah, well, it's my mom. Yeah, well, it's my dad. There was always an issue during the holidays. Yeah, we didn't have enough money. Yeah, my husband never supports me when I'm with his family. Dang it, I never get to be with my family. Let the narrative run for just a minute. Let it be there. Breathe into it. Good. And then in the chat, if you'll let yourself say one word that goes with that sensation, one word about your specific pattern that just began. Let yourself come back into the room and just say it in the chat or take a note. Rage. I love it, Danya. Really good. Let that rage be there as much as it is. And while you're taking a note of the sensation you just felt, see if you can find something in the room. We're going to use our Cogno ball. If you have yours, grab it. It's always there. You feel alone, grief, really good. Or grab some little thing in the room that you can put your attention on for the next few minutes and make sure it's not too heavy. A pen works too. Yeah. Something that you can keep your attention on. And we're going to start our session here in just a sec. Expectation. I like that one. Kari. Yeah, that's great. Expectation. This is good. Have you had an expectation that was not met during the holidays? That's a big one, right, Bill? Expectation.
Very big.
Yeah, good. All right. If you're ready, we're going to start our session. So let me set it up just a little bit. Bill and I'll set it up. You may not know this, but the parts of your brain, parts of your body have different opinions about the same issue. So today we're going to look at 4 positions, 4 opinions of your own brain. See, in Cogno movement, we utilize all the hemispheres of the brain. There really are essentially just 2, but a brain has all kinds of opinions based on your eye position. Consider this. What does it look like when people's eyes are up and their hands are up? They're in praise or worship. What if their hands are straight up? You know they won. If someone's eyes are down, yeah, they're likely sad. If I do this, I'm thinking, right? But there's far more than that. Eye position will bring up different emotions. So this is one little piece of Cogno movement that we're going to use today. We're going to teach you how to use it, and you can use it again and again over this holiday season. But the rules are this. You got to stay in that feeling. You got to let yourself feel it as much as you do. And you can let yourself say out loud whatever comes to mind. Anything else you want to add, Bill, before we get going?
The number one thing is to stay in the feeling and notice that particular feeling in that particular part of the body. So that's going to be the number one thing. As you go through this, you'll be tempted to focus on the technique. But if you put 90% of your attention on how you're feeling, that's going to enable this process to really work for you.
Actually, so good. Yeah, put your attention on the feeling. Somebody said that their anchor had a shape like a chevron. Excellent. They do, right? They're in a place, they have a shape, sometimes they even have a color. When you put your attention on what your body's actually doing, how you do grief, how you do expectation, how you do disappointment, it's your own little launch sequence that you go through until the holiday is over and your body puts its attention on something else. But right now, your body's focused on this thing that happens around the holidays. Fantastic. Let's do the thing. All right. So we're going to start with whatever your item is that you have in your hand or your Cogno ball if you have one. And don't worry, at the end of the session, Leah's going to come back and tell you how you can get your Cogno ball and how to get started. So no worries, just bear with us. At the end of the session, we'll share that. Any questions during the session, please put them in the chat. Leah will be here to answer. All right, ready, set, go. We ready, Bill?
Absolutely.
Okay. We're going to start at your chest level right here at this place. So let your item be right here, right at the upper chest, and let your eyes drop. And start to notice that sensation, your launch sequence that happens every holiday season. And you just can't help it. It just starts. And that feeling is there. So let your eyes be on your item in the down position and breathe into it. Big deep breaths and just notice what starts to play out. And if you will, I'm going to have you start to rock that a little bit left and a little bit right. It's kind of a little U, and you're just a hand's length away from your face. A little left and a little right. And we're going to see what the physical body and the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere have to say about this. And like Bill said, 90%, 99% on that feeling. Good. And start to notice if a story plays out, a time, a place, a situation. Just notice. For some of you, it will. Some of you, you may not, but feel that sensation. It's so familiar. Breathe into how familiar this thing is. Now, someone said it's here. It's not just this time of year. It's kind of more familiar than that. Yeah, it might be for you that it's there kind of all the time, but during the holidays, man, it kicks up. Feel it. And breathe. There's no trying here. There's just letting it be what it is. Let your body tell the truth about this situation. Now, for somebody out there, there may be a need to just tell somebody right off, right here in this position. Let yourself feel it and let those words come out. If there's no words, just really be aware of what this thing is doing in your body, how it feels. What's the shape and size? Does it take up your whole body? Does it go beyond your body? Breathe into it. Don't forget to breathe. We're accessing both ends of this pattern in your body right now. Feel it. And let your eyes move with your item, just left and just right. Breathe. Stay with me. I know it's uncomfortable. But for the first time in your life, will you let your body be acknowledged for what it's been trying to tell you all these years? Would you be willing? Let your body say what it's wanted to say forever about this holiday season and all it brings up for you. Breathe. It may have just gotten bigger. Congratulations. You found one end of this pattern for you. Good. Just a few more seconds. Breathe here for me. And feel. Notice how familiar it is. My question is, would you be willing to feel how you feel just for now? Breathe. Good. Let that item or ball drop and let your head drop and your eyes rest just for a minute. And as you rest, notice what your body's doing now. Notice if it got bigger. If it did, congratulations. Notice if it got smaller. If it did, congratulations. Notice if it moved in your body somewhere. If it did, congratulations. Good. Notice if it's different somehow. Just the quality, maybe the size, maybe the shape. For some of you, there's going to be a taste involved with this. Notice if that changed. Or notice if it's the same and just breathe. Let yourself rest. Really good. All right. Grab your ball or your item again and put it right here over your right shoulder. It's important that we start over the right shoulder because we're in the left brain. And the left brain has a different opinion than the kinesthetic body. So you're going to let your eyes, your head be straight and level. And you're going to let your eyes reach for that item. So it's a real side eye situation here. Almost like you're going to look through your own jaw at that ball or item. So it's going to be down below your jaw here. And let your eyes stretch and let your head stay straight and level. Notice if you're pretty uncomfortable there. For many of you, you will be. Congratulations. Are you starting to think, gosh, Liz wants me to be in pain? I don't. But it's good to go through this to experience it, and we're going to clear it out. So put your eyes to that right side and start to breathe and move your item just up that right side and let your eyes follow. Really make them stretch. If your eyes aren't stretching, you're not doing the work. All the way up to about eyebrow level, way, like you're looking through your own eyebrow, and back down really slow. And feel that sensation again, that holiday stress. That feeling that this year you might not survive it. Stay in it. And continue to breathe. Let your eyes stretch as you move right up the side, right side of your face. And let, 99% of your attention be on that feeling in your body. You know the one. This is so familiar. It happens every year. It's about the people, the food, the places, the arguments, the loss, the loneliness. Feel it. Let it be familiar just for now. Breathe. And notice how different or the same it feels on this right side. Notice what your right side of your body and your left brain feels about this holiday stress. Stay in it, feel it, and breathe for me. Breathe with me. Let your eyes stretch. Don't let yourself off the hook here. I promise it's worth the work. Let your eyes really stretch. And notice where maybe the item goes blurry, or you get double vision, or there's a lot of pain in your eyes. If you're experiencing that, stay in that spot and really reach and really breathe. And let yourself, for the first time ever, maybe really have this experience. Let your body tell the truth about how it feels to be you during this holiday stress, this holiday season, the pressure. Now, there might be part of it that you love, and that's okay. But let yourself feel the part that you don't, the part that maybe you wouldn't tell someone else that you feel. Breathe into it. Let it expand. Let it contract. Let it be familiar. Breathe into it. About 30 more seconds. Stay with me. Let it be there. Feel it as much as you do. Good. And let your head rest and your eyes rest. Close your eyes and breathe. Now, it's important to have these rests in between. What's interesting is that the body will integrate during this little rest period. The body knows that you've never exactly looked at this way before. You've never put your attention on it for this long so specifically. So bodies are smart. It'll be like, hey, wait a minute, we're doing something different. Notice what's happening in your body now. I know your eyes are going to feel a little funny. Let them feel that way. It's okay. If you're a little dizzy, that's normal too. A little nauseous, that's normal too. We're moving information in those big energy centers, and it feels a little like being on a roller coaster. Feel it. Notice the sensation now about the holiday. Notice if it's different for you now, if it changed. Notice if it felt significantly different for you being on that right side and in your left brain. Notice if you saw a different storyline start to play out. Did someone get the answer for what this is about? Something interesting, some flash of information. Notice if it's bigger. Notice if it's smaller. Notice if it's moved. You're doing great. Just stay with us. Let yourself rest. Just a few more seconds. All right. Now we're going to move to the left side. Now on the left side, we're going to be working in our right brain. So you're going to bring it just above your shoulder and let your eyes reach to the left. Now remember, take yourself back into that sensation in your body. Whatever it is about the holiday season, it's how your body starts the launch sequence around this familiar discomfort, tension, stress, and begin to move your item or your ball, whatever you have, up the left side. Notice for you if it's more or less tense in your eyes. Notice if the sensation feels different on this side, and breathe. Breathe and feel it. Let it be here just for now. Whatever your brand of holiday angst feels like, let it be there. Breathe. Let your eyes follow. Good. And let your eyes stretch. If they're not a little uncomfortable, you're probably not really doing the work. Breathe. We're now in that right brain. Let's see what its opinion is about this holiday problem that you may have had since childhood. Breathe into it. Breathe in and out. Really let it come out like a sensation. Breathe in. Let that sensation be there, the grief, the sadness. And just notice, what opinion does your right brain have about this situation? Breathe. Right side, breathe in. Good. Let yourself feel it. Let it be familiar as it is. Notice if a new storyline starts to play out. Some glimpse of where this pattern started. You're doing great. Stick with me a few more seconds. Stay in it. Notice how it feels to be you during this holiday season. Good. Let your head rest and your eyes rest. So Bill, just queuing up after we get done with the above the head segment, I'm going to have you take people through just about 3 minutes of their running their ears. So just Queuing you up. Not there yet. All right. Notice for you what's the same and what's different. In Cogno movement, we're never looking really for better. We're looking for change. What's the same and what's different? Is it bigger now? Has it moved? Is it smaller? Has it changed in some way? Did you notice something about yourself that you didn't know before? Here's a good question. What do you know about this that you didn't know before? Good. Looks like Susan found something so interesting. Very good. All right. Right brain says feeling loved. I like it. All right. So drop your item down to about your belly button now, if you will. Yeah. Let your eyes drop and bring the feeling back again. Whatever it is about this holiday season that feels uncomfortable, wherever there's discomfort, let it be there just for now. If you found a new idea about it, let that be there too. If storyline's playing out, let that be there too. The bottom line is whatever's happening, let it be. And begin to move your item left and right. And let your eyes follow with it, right here at your belly level. Good. Move up slightly, solar plexus. Stay in it. Let yourself feel it. You're doing great. Right about your mid-chest level. Good. Feel it. Familiar. Good. Throat level now. Left and right, breathe. Mouth level, right across your mouth. Feel it. Let it be as familiar as it is. Let your mind wander where it does, but feel into your body. Notice what it feels like to be you. Good. Eye level. Wonderful. Forehead level. Good. Up over the head now. Up over the head, we're going to tick-tock left and right. Let your chin drop and your eyes stretch upward. This is the ideas and inspiration part of your brain. The part that, if I say think, you're going to look up. Stay here for just a few seconds. Now, you can bring your elbows in, and that kind of will help with your shoulders. We're going to be here for just a minute or two. But let your eyes be in that position and notice if it's real uncomfortable. If so, just breathe. We're opening up a part of your brain that's not probably been opened in a while. This is very uncomfortable. Breathe and let yourself wander around in your own sensation about the holiday season: stress, tension, fears, discomfort, disappointment, anxiety, resentment. Breathe. Notice if it's harder to find up here. Breathe. And here, there might be some possibility. What else is possible about this holiday season? This one. About you. About now. Breathe into it. It's a question for your body, not your mind. Breathe. I know your arms are getting tired. Stay with me just 30 more seconds. Let your eyes tick-tock. Let this part of your brain examine your pattern, this sensation. Breathe. Okay. Hold it up over your head. Big stretch. Big deep breath in. And pull it down and let your head rest and your eyes rest for just a moment. And just be aware of what it feels like in your body now. What's the same and what's different? What did you become aware of during this little session? Keeping in mind, this is just one little piece of Cogno movement and it's a short session. Notice if some awareness started to come into your mind, an idea about where this came from. Or for some of you, you might have just flatlined. It might be neutral now, and you might be like, oh, I don't feel that anymore. Or like Dana said, started to feel loved on that right side. Good. Good. Yeah, so maybe you're starting to realize Christmas was a pain in the neck. Interesting, Sue Ann. I wonder if you had a pain in the neck during Christmas. Tension, stress. Good. You guys are doing really well. Just be gently aware of what shifted and what changed. Okay, we've got one last little piece that Bill's going to run you through for this segment. You want to do the ears, Bill? Grief and anger had been hidden. That's so interesting. It's draining. Yeah. Go ahead, Bill. You are muted. You're still muted. And you're still muted. Hold on. Okay. Now can you unmute?
There we go. Now I can.
Difficulties.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been muzzled. Okay, here we go. I going to take you through now something really interesting about your body. The outer lip of your ear represents your spinal cord. Right now, if you let yourself feel how you do, just as Liz has walked you through, take your fingers and massage or pinch right down that outer lip. Notice, is there a place that kind of hurts a little bit, or is like a little bit uncomfortable, a little different? Sometimes it can be hard, or sometimes it can be sensitive in some way. And as you're just feeling, notice, where is that on my ear? Now, interesting fact is this represents upside down. The earlobe is like your brain, and over at the very top is the base of your spine. So it's kind of flipped upside down. Where is that uncomfortableness? And is that about where that feeling was in your body? You notice, is there a correlation there? If it was down here at the base, was it also down in my lower part of my body? So what we can do, Cognomovement is a system that utilizes your entire nervous system to cause a processing or release of this old pattern. And so instead of using the eyes, we're going to cause a release out of the spinal cord. Your eyes, your brain, your spinal cord are one neurological system. So one affects the other. What we're going to do is just tell the story, your story of how you feel. Now you can just pinch and wiggle all the way down your ear, or you can cross over. If you do have the ability to move your arms to cross over, that's ideal. If not, it's okay just to do it this way, or do it with one hand. So 2 is good, and crossover is best. So what you're going to do now is tell the story. I'm going to count you down from 50 down to 1, and you're going to tell the story from the beginning to the end. Meaning, and the end is right now. When did all this start? Ready? Begin, and pinch and wiggle. You're going to pinch as hard as you can and wiggle right down that outer lip all the way down to the earlobe. And when I get to 0, you're going to be down here at the bottom of the earlobe. Ready? 50, 49, pinch and wiggle. 48, 47, 46, 45, pinch and wiggle. Tell the story. Tell the story. 7, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 3, 22, 21, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, pinch and wiggle, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. Pull your ears all the way forward, flop them over. Breathe in through your nose. Let go of your ears. Breathe out your mouth. And now you're going to tell the same story from now until back to the beginning. The exact same story you just told. Ready? Here we go. From now backwards. Ready? Same story. 50. Pinch and wiggle as hard as you can. 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 43, 44, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 3, 22, 21, 19, 18, 17, pinch and wiggle, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. Pull the ears forward. Breathe in through your nose. Let go. Turn your head to the side. Yawn. And turn your head to the other side. And yawn. And now notice how you feel. If you arch your back backwards, back over your chair for a second, let your head go back. Bring yourself up and breathe. Notice the area that you had the issue before. Is it still there? Is it less? Has it moved to a new area? Typically, when it moves, it actually moves in your body as well. This is just a small sample, and we don't expect you to be done with the issue, but it's just a little bit to give you just a little taste.
Yeah, we have kind of run up against our time, but I want you guys to notice if you had a boiling hot, Tara says, great, congratulations, it's moving. All right, so take a look at whatever you wrote down, the initial problem, and notice if you're actually surprised at what you wrote. Because for some of you, you're going to think, well, that wasn't my problem. That'll be interesting for some. And if you're familiar with what you wrote, if it seems right to you, just notice how it feels now. Notice if there's any slight change in the reaction physically. We're not talking about your logical mind and what you think, not quite yet. That changes after the physical pattern changes. See, the truth is that the brain just interprets how the body feels. We think our thoughts come first. They really don't. It's that initial reaction in the body's driver that says, hey, is this a threat or not? That's all it's really worried about. So just notice what the initial reaction is in your body. Notice if it's different. Could be bigger, could be smaller, could just be somehow different that you can't put your finger on now. So if it's different in some way, will you just say in the chat, it's a little bit different? If you're not down, your ears are hot now too, right, Dana? If you're not at a 0 on this, if you're not flatlined, if you're not in a different place, go to, right after the session, go right over to YouTube, Cogno Movement page, on YouTube or Facebook Cogno Movement page, and just fast forward and do the session again. So a bit different, a bit better, different, yes. Calmer. It's different, different, different. People are saying, you guys did such a good job, but do it again until you feel either neutral, like you just don't care one way or the other. The way Leah and I put it is meh, or actually you find an answer that makes you feel better about this. You start to feel good. The hope would be that really you go through the rest of the holiday season just feeling like, okay, this is fine. Now you can do this again and again if you find other issues. So Susan said hers is much bigger. Congratulations, Susan. Dig right in, go right back in and do the session again because you got it on the run. When it's bigger, you're right on the precipice of change and you might find a really big answer. So everybody, you did a great job. For those of you who are brand new here, Leah's going to come on and tell you how to continue with Cogno Movement, what the next step is, and what we have available. For those of you who've been with us before, thank you for being here. Please comment if this changes for you over the next few hours, and for some it will. For some, after you sleep tonight, you'll wake up feeling different tomorrow. Cogno Movement creates neurological change. Sometimes it takes a body a little time to process it out and to come to a new conclusion. The great thing about it is it creates an automatic autocorrection in your own system. So sometimes that takes a little change. So please come in and on Facebook or YouTube and tell us if you have a change tomorrow. Also, will you let us know if you did this again? You will also receive the replay in your email, likely tomorrow, and you can do the session again and again. You can let us know what happened there. So Leah, are you with us? Will you let people know what to do next?
Yeah, so I just want to reiterate, if you felt those shifts or if you felt any release at all, just keep in mind that this was a mini Cogno Movement session. It is just a piece of Cogno Movement. So if you're eager to explore even further, I have exactly what you need, which is Cogno Movement Essentials. It's a video course that takes everything you've experienced today to a whole new level. So imagine having the power to transform your life at your fingertips anytime, anywhere an issue comes up. So whether you are at home in your underwear or you are on your break at work and need to do a little session, or you're doing a small session in your car after a really stressful groceries trip, anytime a trigger or an issue or a sensation comes up, as long as you have your Cogno Ball, which comes with the Essential course, you're set. You're set for life. So any of you who are asking where to start with Cogno Movement, the Essentials course is the answer. And I have a little bit of an exciting offer for you. So for the first 50 people who sign up in the next 24 hours, you'll get an exclusive bonus, which is our Happy Money Manifesting class. So this class is a real treasure, especially if you're looking to shift not just your financial mindset, but your financial reality. It's the perfect complement to the comprehensive journey you'll experience in the Essentials course. But I want to give you a heads up. The offer vanishes tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the dot. It's going to be gone. We're not going to offer it again. So I know there aren't 50 people on this Zoom call, but keep in mind that we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So you're going to want to act fast. Signing up is super easy. Just go to cognomovement.com/essentials, learn a little bit more about the course, and you can sign up from that page. You've already started feeling the changes in today's session, so think about the incredible progress you could make with the full course and this special bonus. I'm really excited to see how far you all can go with Cogno Movement Essentials, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you into not just the Cogno Movement community, but our Cogno Movement family. So as always, if you have any questions, you can go to info@cognomovement.com. I'm going to put the Essentials course link in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And it was nice meeting you all just even on the camera. Bill and I absolutely enjoy doing our work, and we love hearing from you about what changed and what's going on in your life after. Keep in mind that this may change for days and days just from this one little session. So you might be surprised about what happens next. And for us, that is the most interesting part. What happens next, right, Bill?
Absolutely. Some of you are slow processors and it takes a little while. So you might not even realize it in the morning, but you wake up different. So pay attention to what happens next. Thank you all. We will see you on the next chapter.
Absolutely. Cognomovement.com on Facebook, Cognomovement on Facebook, Cognomovement on YouTube. The replay is there right now. Go for it and keep going. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you all again soon. Thanks, Leah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Leah.